Welcome to One More Game presented by Hoosier Pickleball. I am your host, Matt Brandenberger, alongside my, how do we say this, like throat-clearing wife. She had to apologize before we started, and we have had a couple listeners say, man, Abby clears her throat a lot. It is what it is. You have, what did you call it? Seasonal?
I called it winter in Indiana post-nasal drip.
Post-nasal drip. So if you hear her clearing her throat, she doesn't have COVID.
So sorry.
We're all good here. But yeah. So how we doing? How's life been? Crazy as ever?
Yes.
Okay. This is the podcast for those who love pickleball, but life be crazy. And yeah, it's been kind of into those January doldrums a little bit, feeling that. We did have a good laugh the other day. We wanted to as soon as this happened, we're like, oh, we got to tell that story on the pod.
I laughed so hard, but I feel like you may have had to be there, but we're still going to tell the story.
We're going to tell the story. We're going to do our best, but this was pretty funny.
Hysterical.
And it was centered around pickleball because I'm on the phone. I'm texting with somebody who was interested in a paddle and was just kind of texting back and forth. And I was on the couch to set the scene, and our little dog, Coco, who's now still as adorable as ever, almost 3 months now, but super tiny, and she's just gotten to the point where she can be on the back of the couch. So she had climbed up there, and I didn't even know she's behind me. And so I'm texting.
You're voice texting.
I am voice texting. And I'm texting with this guy, and I don't realize that I'm still voice texting. Have you ever done this? Or this is just me with my ADHD. I didn't really think about it, and I'm in the middle of my voice text, and Coco kind of climbs on my shoulder. And we had to write it down. I said,
and did you hit send?
I did. Well, I'll throw that
he's
in a
so
second.
Boring. He didn't.
You just ruined the story by saying I'm so boring.
Yeah,
Sorry,
what?
This was pretty funny. So the dog crawls across kind of my shoulder, and I'm distracted immediately. And I said, "Oh, hello. Where are you going?" Like I kind of went into like puppy talk, baby talk. "Oh, where are you going?" And then I said, "You're not gonna bite my nose, are you?" And because our dogs had like been biting our nose, and she was just real cute, kind of in my face. And so I then looked down at my text, and it says those words verbatim. Oh, hello. And I imagined sending this to poor Lex, who was interested in a paddle. And it says in the middle of our conversation,
Where are you going?
Where are you going?
You're not gonna
bite my nose,
like,
are you?
Sorry, wrong person.
Yeah, he's like, no longer interested in paddles.
Yeah. Or anything that
or
anything you have to say.
Yeah. Oh, we laughed.
I really wanted him to send it.
Yeah.
That's what I was like.
Yeah.
Oh man.
It's like, do I just send it and then try to explain it? And I'm like, no, I've got too much other stuff going on. I'm not going to try to. I don't need to get into a half-hour conversation about. No, we have this new puppy. So I didn't send it, but it was.
Your relationship just ends with him. Like
Right.
I don't have time to figure it out. We're done.
Right.
We're done here. Obviously.
Right. And
Obviously, right.
I'm just getting to know Lex. I didn't want to ruin our relationship with such a.
But I was sitting at the table, and even like 20 minutes later, I started laughing again.
Yeah, like when
oh,
something's.
hello. Where are you going?
You're not gonna bite my nose, are you? Yeah, when something's so funny, and then like you think you finally gotten yourself under control, and then it just pops in your head again.
And you start laughing again. I do that a lot.
That was good. So yeah, anything else? Anything crazy going on? Dog update. She is doing well. She's a great little puppy. She slept in our bed for the first time the other night, and it was pretty adorable.
Why did you do that? Now you're just conditioning that dog to
Actually,
be in your
bed.
bed.
She is our daughter's dog, and she's sleeping.
Well, not that night she wasn't.
That night she wasn't. But she went back and slept in Olivia's room. Yeah. Doing well.
I'd like 5 more.
I know you would, and that's not happening. Are we talking kids or dogs? Let's be both. No, dogs.
Cocos.
5
more Cocos.
Specifically, because she is a great
She's the
little
best.
puppy. We were very blessed. So
yeah.
So what are we talking about today, Abby?
Oh man.
We're getting into.
We're gonna broach the topic of rec play etiquette.
That's the title of this is rec play etiquette.
But I don't want this to turn into pet peeves and things I hate.
Right. We want to try to put a positive spin on it.
Yeah, because we already kind of did things that I hate.
Did we?
A couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Remember? Things I love.
Yeah, things I love, things I hate.
Things I dislike strongly.
Yeah.
So this is just etiquette to think about when you're rec playing.
Yeah. Centered around rec play.
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
But what are our two? So we kind of came up with a mindset.
Yeah, well, and being in education, we talk a lot about mindsets and having a growth mindset. And the opposite of a growth mindset is a fixed mindset. So as we were kind of putting this together, we thought, well, this would be kind of a good way to juxtapose the two kind of positions of when you go into rec play. Are you a player that's going in with a growth mindset or a player that's going in with a fixed mindset? So kind of walk us through.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll walk us through growth mindset. People who have a growth mindset take on challenges and learn from them, therefore increasing their abilities and achievements. So you can learn from like incremental successes, you embrace failure. So listen, I didn't dig deep into your fixed mindset voice. Okay. I can assume I know what that is. We can probably all figure it out, but ignore that. Okay. Ignore your fixed mindset voice. Change your language. I imagine that as a language you say to yourself, such as, could be an idiot. I don't know.
Right.
Seek,
positive words. Yeah. Encouraging words.
Seek outside help. So maybe that would be, hey, what am I doing wrong here? Yeah. Accept feedback. Ooh, that is tough. And keep going.
Yeah. Just to sum it up in terms of growth mindset, it's having a willingness. It's a humility, really.
Ooh, shoo.
Saying,
that's tough.
I don't know everything. I can always get better
at something.
At something, no matter what it is, you can always be better. In pickleball, especially, there's no perfect game of pickleball where you don't do anything wrong. You hit every shot perfectly. You can always, like golf. That's again one of the things that I love about pickleball is I feel like I'm getting better continually and I'm learning new things.
And just to be clear, and maybe it's not even your pickleball game, maybe it is your attitude on the pickleball court.
And we'll get into some of that as well.
So tell us what a fixed mindset is.
So that's going to describe more children or adults, because sometimes we adults do act as children, who believe their intelligence, talents, personalities are fixed traits that cannot grow. So you are where you are. God made you the way you are. You're just kind of...
You're done.
You're set in your ways.
You're not good at math.
Yeah, you're not good at math. You've said that. That's a fixed mindset, right? You can improve. You can get better. You can learn your multiplication table, Abby. It's not too late. 8 times 7.
57.
56.
56.
She knew I didn't even know I was in the right, decade.
I still don't know if you're joking when you do that, but...
What's weird is I only learned the multiples of 7 by football.
Yeah, there you go.
Just touchdowns and an extra point.
You knew
totally
7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, 49, 56. That's just
Jeez.
Bad.
And watching the national championship game last week. You
definitely had to see that. Good Lord.
Holy cow.
Well, so homeschooling Olivia now, I am getting much better at my times tables.
So do you know the one for 9?
Well, we do. Oh, yeah. This? Yeah.
So
we do that all the time.
Well, 1 times 8 is 1 plus 8 is 9. 2 times 9 is 18 because, oh crap, what is it? It's like,
I don't know.
No, there's something. It's, you subtract by 1 each time. So 9 times 9 is 81. Okay. And then when you go 9 times 8 is 72. You add, each time it's 63, 54.
Right.
Well, there's this.
The finger trick is the cool
5 plus 4 is 9.
No, so give me one, Adam. This is not great for the radio, but I'll try to.
The radio?
The podcast.
Watch our YouTube.
Watch the YouTube channel for this.
Right.
All right.
So give me 9
times 4.
So if I go 1, 2, 3, 4, I count 4 digits over and I put that one down. How many digits do I have on this side? 3.
30.
And how many on this side?
6.
36.
There you
go.
The other one is, I think I figured it out. It's, the increments of 9 is you add, so it's 18, then 27.
Yeah.
It goes down by 1 each time.
Gotcha.
Yes.
So 27 and 36,
you know what?
the 7 to the 6,
let's just spend the next hour talking about ways to multiply.
And the 10, you just add a 0. I don't know if you knew that.
Now I know my 7s, 9s, and 10s.
This is riveting. I should never have asked you what 8 times 7 was. My apologies.
You're hilarious.
I really did think 8 touchdowns.
But that's great.
8 touchdowns.
Times 7, yes.
That's awesome.
But to be fair, if I actually worked at math, I could be good at it.
Yeah.
I just don't want to.
Sure. Same.
So, yeah.
Fixed mindset means you kind of are just like, it is what it is.
Right.
But if you truly cared,
Did you just say mbop?
Bop.
So let's apply our growth mindset and maybe pinpoint some fixed mindsets.
Sure.
to rec play.
Okay, so we're talking
Etiquette.
pickleball, we're talking rec play etiquette. What does that look like? So when I go into a rec game, how can I have more of a growth mindset? And let me throw out the caveat at the beginning. I'm surprised you didn't say this initially, because you're the one that says a lot of the time, sometimes I don't care. I'm just there to play and have fun. I don't care about having a growth mindset. So, and that's fine. Sometimes we want to play pickleball and we just want to have fun.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, let's go with that. I was going to say, sometimes I don't necessarily care about improving a skill that day.
Yeah.
I don't think that's growth mindset. I'm there to have fun.
Yeah.
Having fun is part of that.
You can still grow even as a person.
Right.
Kind of
That's
like
what I'm
said.
saying, as a human.
For sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Because one thing on that is you can have growth by when you have fun and someone makes a mistake. Normally, you may be a little frustrated, but the growth is, hey, you got it next time. Hey, let's go.
Yeah.
And you still give them a quick smile.
Exactly.
That could be part of the growth, and you're having fun still.
Exactly.
Follow me for
Thank
more
you.
pro tips.
Yeah.
There you go. And math tips, as we established earlier.
Maybe
Yes.
not as much.
Yeah. So we did throw this out kind of in our community of pickleball friends, and we do want to say this as well. If you ever have questions or you have anything you want to share, you can email us at hoosierpickleball@gmail.com. We are going to start taking some questions from listeners that they have pertaining to pickleball or life in general.
Makes me
whatever
nervous.
you want. Yeah, absolutely. It'd be fun. But we threw this out and we kind of just said, what are some of your rec play etiquette tips that you have? And we got a lot of really good feedback. So a lot of these are kind of centered around those. So Abby, kind of start us off.
Well, I do also want to have the caveat of, like, we can be adults, we can have maybe a hard conversation and maybe to keep an open mind on how we can improve in some of these areas.
Right.
So, I mean, basically there's always something we can improve upon, even if it's not pickleball skills. Sometimes it's interpersonal skills.
Yep.
One of the things people love about pickleball is the social aspect. So be the one to grow in patience and grace when you face someone who is acting in ways that you think is against pickleball etiquette.
Right.
Is my little caveat here, my challenge.
Yeah, and we want to keep it positive, but we also want to say we can have an adult conversation about this as well. So before we get too much into it, we'll take a quick commercial break, and then we will be back to talk pickleball etiquette. Be right back. All right, welcome back to one more game presented by Hoosier Pickleball. We are talking pickleball etiquette specifically around rec play today. And one of the first ones that we want to talk about is good etiquette when it comes to line calls. So what do we want to say about that, Abby?
Well, it'd be good etiquette to be generous on the side of it being in.
Benefit of the doubt goes to the other team. So if you see a ball clearly out, you're not like, that was close enough, we'll give it to them. But you don't call it out unless you clearly see it out.
And we've joked before that in rec play, we've jokingly said, that's tournament out, but we'll call it in today.
Right.
So in rec play, we're just here to have fun, be generous with your line calls.
Yeah. And that keeps the point going as well, right? It is, if it's a clear winner and it's either you don't return their shot, then I guess the point was over regardless. But a lot of times if it's close, you're gonna, and you can play it and you can keep the rally going, again, in the spirit of improvement and a growth mindset, keep that point going.
Keep the point going. It is also etiquette to not, well, this is a rule and etiquette, you don't call the other side's line calls. So I actually had my baseline. I'm standing on the baseline. I had somebody on the opposite court call their own ball out, which it was out, but I was kind of like, that's nowhere near your call.
Yeah.
But
I think it's okay. There's a fine line between that, though. Like,
they called it out for your benefit.
Right.
Well, I was going to call it out. That's my call.
But
See, I kind of disagree with
See,
you on
here's
that
my
one.
yeah,
growth
I disagree
mindset.
too.
Here's my
because,
growth mindset. I need to be patient.
Well, again,
There you
it's
go.
one thing. Here's where you should be talking about this. If they're like, "Oh, that was in. That's a great shot,"
Right.
then say something. But they
Yeah.
were calling it out for your benefit.
Yeah.
Like,
And sometimes I think that can be a good thing. Maybe not so much on the back
And it was
baseline.
because it was a baseline.
Yeah.
That was what
now,
was
if
annoying.
it's down the sideline, sometimes I'll hit
Mm-hmm.
a ball down the sideline and I'll be like, I missed it. Like that was out. And I think that's helpful for the other team because sometimes they may not see it. You've got a great view right
Right.
down the line.
Sure.
And so you say,
You're just being honest.
and conversely, I've done this before where I've celebrated, I've hit it right down the line and it's caught the line, or at least I thought it caught the line, and I go, yes. And that can agitate the other team. And that's not,
I have done that before too.
and that's not always the greatest thing. So you really should not call them. That is a good, rule of thumb, but that can be kind of a gray area.
But
I'd
we
say.
can also be humans and make mistakes.
And you're going to hear
then
that
just
a lot, and that's kind
chalk
of
it
our
up. Yeah.
recurring theme
Yeah.
is have grace.
Yep.
Somebody
Patience and
does
grace.
patience and grace.
With me too, when I do something
Please,
stupid, because
please. Yeah.
I do a lot of stupid stuff.
grace is appreciated. I was playing a couple weeks ago, and I was asking my teammate what the score was as I was serving, and the other person on the other side yelled, "Come on!"
No, like
Yeah,
like they were
just-
upset. Yeah.
Yeah, like, can you give me 3 seconds?
Yeah.
Joey.
Patience and grace.
Yeah.
But then I would say you also need to have grace for them being crazy.
And I
So,
did. I
yeah,
was just like,
yeah.
"Hey, I just don't remember the score."
Sorry.
Yeah.
Like, sorry, I'm a
Uh-huh.
dummy.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Just being self-deprecating sometimes
That-
works in a lot of ways.
I do that a lot.
Yeah.
Yep. What do you think about kitchen line calls, babe?
Kitchen line calls are
For
tricky
rec play is tough.
for a rec play. Yeah.
My opinion is if
Yeah.
it's egregious.
Yeah.
If you are literally standing in the kitchen,
Or if somebody steps in, they hit
Yeah.
a ball out of the air and they take a giant step
Giant
in,
step.
for sure. And yeah, I would kind of go back to the growth mindset in this. If somebody's toes are on the line, I don't want to go as far to say it's not like the speed limit. I have kind of said that before. It's like the speed limit. There's some grace in that. Well, if I'm in a tournament and there's a ref, they're going to call it if my toes are on the line.
For sure.
Out is out. But if you're standing across the net from me and you are watching where my big toe is,
you have
Yeah.
yeah, you need to concentrate on your own game.
So
Right.
I got a situation here for you that
Yeah.
happened. So a player hit the ball. It was a point. And after it was established that it was for sure a point, like
Yeah.
it hit the person's ankle and rolled in bounds. So it was a point for that person. After the ball hit that person's ankle and it was established it was a point, as he was coming down, one foot landed in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And the lady was like, "Oh, in the kitchen." And this is rec play.
Yeah.
And the guy was like looking around at everyone like,
seriously.
do I tear her head off for this?
Right.
Like he was almost like looking for the go ahead, like,
Yeah.
"We're with you, buddy. Go ahead, attack her." Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It was really awkward. And he was just like, what?
Yeah. And so that's where I go with the growth versus fixed mindset here is I want to win at all costs.
Yeah.
Like I want to win. I want the W. I want to walk away with a W.
Yeah.
But the growth mindset is, okay, it was after the point. Maybe that's technically, did his momentum carry him in? I mean, maybe, but whatever. And sorry, one more quick story. I got called in the kitchen twice in Pictona because I pushed off with my foot and didn't reestablish to hit an overhead, which I think the refs love calling that. Anyways, that happened to me twice.
So you understand that, Adam? So you're standing at the line and somebody lobs one over your head. The tendency that a lot of people do is instead of just turning to go back, you take one step forward to kind of push off.
And
then
that foot's in the kitchen.
And that foot's in the kitchen. But
Or
listen,
on the line,
but
or just
listen,
barely on the line.
But listen, it has to get reestablished back on. So you may even pick that foot up, push off with your other foot to go get that overhead, and then not reestablish that other one, and they'll call that.
Well, what do we,
So, hold on.
if the line is lava, it's lava.
Yeah.
You just can't touch it.
So I got called for that twice, and I turned to somebody, maybe it was Josh, I don't even know, and I said, would somebody just start calling me in the kitchen during rec play? Because
Right.
obviously I have a problem.
Yeah.
And that person goes, I'm not doing that.
Yeah. Nobody's going to.
Like, nobody's going to do that.
Yeah.
And especially when you're playing at higher levels too. If I'm looking down at somebody who's in the kitchen, I'm going to eat a ball in the face.
You
like
are.
the guys I play against are going to hit the ball hard enough. I can't be watching. I need to be watching their paddle and where that ball's coming, not down at the line.
Yeah.
So anyways,
Okay, I think we've
yeah, exhausted that for sure.
music.
How about music? Yeah, this came up. One person I loves said nobody should ever play classical music. They called out an entire. I don't know why I don't know if they had a bad experience with classical music or what, but I don't. I like.
I mean, I've
listening.
never played with classical music. To
Right.
be fair, I'm
I
not
feel
sure
like it
when
would
that
be
happened.
What do
very
you even
elegant
mean?
and graceful.
Like Tchaikovsky's Nutcracker.
Right.
Yeah,
You know what
or
classical
like
music is.
Beethoven. Like,
Yeah.
okay,
Right.
but what do you mean?
Like a lot of times we'll bring, like a
Like a-
Bose stereo or whatever to listen to music while we're playing. And some people like that, some people don't. One person said absolutely no classical music. But then different genre styles come in.
I hate jazz.
Yeah, if you don't like country or whatever. So usually
Just put on top 40 and call it a day, right?
Yeah.
yeah, but not everybody loves top 40.
So,
But it's in the top 40. How could you not like it?
I don't. I don't like top 40, Adam.
Yeah,
You should hear what the top 40 said about you.
right.
I agree.
Right. So music can be kind of one of those.
A thing.
Yeah, and some people
But
don't like the noise. Some people feel like it breaks
Actually,
concentration.
I've seen on Facebook, people are like, I hate music.
Just in
And
general.
I'm like,
yeah.
then you should do yoga.
Yeah. Yeah, I like having music on in the
Music's
background. I think it can be, if it's up too loud, probably could annoy some people, but that's, again, going to be different for
Yeah.
everybody. So, again,
Just be flexible.
be flexible. Be flexible, people.
Just jam out.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys, this one.
Oh, this is
This
a
is-
tough one.
This is a thing.
Yeah. So playing with people of lesser ability. So everybody, aside from the very best player in the world, Ben Johns, and the very worst player in the world, I don't know
My
who you
daughter,
are.
who's 6. I don't know.
Everybody at times is going to play with people that are better than them and are worse than them. And there's
Especially if there's a big disparity against the two
yeah.
in the duo who are across from you.
Yeah.
Really good and not good.
Right. And so good etiquette, we would say, is in rec games. Again, this is a growth mindset. You're trying to get better, is to keep points going. Okay.
It's more fun that way anyway.
So let's say that there's a 3-0 player and a 5-0 player. So we'll go big disparity. If all I'm doing as an opponent of theirs is playing at the 3-0 person, we're going to win a lot of points.
You're not going to get any better though.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And the person who's the 5-0 is probably not going to be real into that game.
no.
Probably
And the
pretty
3-0
annoyed.
person is probably fairly
Yeah.
discouraged.
Yeah. So trying to have that growth mindset of thinking, how can I get better? In fact, one of the things that, Ryan Kearns, who we've had on here before, is, one of the best players in Fort Wayne, has said, like, give me, please. I would love to play with a whole group of people that's way better than me. That's how I would get better. So, and you play with them, you play against them, you play to them. So having the growth mindset, instead of playing at that 3-0 person, you should actually be playing at that 5-0
absolutely.
person as much as possible, even to the point where you say, okay, I need to balance it out
Right.
and go to both of them.
Right. And I wrote down, don't target the weaker person. Hit it to the weaker person. Absolutely. Because to be fair, the weaker person could need improvement too.
Absolutely.
Like they want to
Balance.
get
It's
better,
balance.
but don't target this person over and over again. And so like, again, that's walking away from the court with a W. Well, congratulations.
Yeah.
Did you get any better in that moment, even just as a human?
I feel like how bad depends on how bad they are. I'm not a great player. I want to be targeted because I want to get better.
Right. So it really is all about balance. You don't want to go, when you're playing against two people, no matter what their ability level is, try to go at them an equal amount. Now, listen, the game's, 11-10, games on the line, and you want to win it and get off the court, sure, fine,
Yeah.
whatever. That's fine at that point. But don't go into that game saying, oh, I'm playing
11
against
to 0.
Yeah, I'm playing against a 5-0. If I could just get this win, it's going to make me look really good. I mean, what's that really for?
Yeah. Well, then, I mean, even conversely, when you're the weakest one on the court, then, and this has happened to me, and then I walk away and I'm like mad, oh, I played like crap. When in reality, the better players exposed all of my deficits.
Right.
So,
But
like,
then
don't
you
have a
knew-
temper tantrum.
But then you knew what to do to
Right,
get better.
I did.
Yeah.
I mean, I got targeted a lot. I still, as a female, I still get targeted, but, I got targeted a lot in those first, year of playing. And I really was like, well,
Yeah.
I guess I'll get better quicker.
Yeah. One other thing to add to this, just in terms of choosing which games you play, is one of our listeners, Natasha, put on there, being willing to pay it forward, not just going and playing with higher people. Like everybody's desire, for the most part, I would say, is you want to play with the best players you can. You want to play with people who are at your ability level or a little bit higher. That's how you get better. But there are times you need to play with people who are just learning the game. And for so long, I think that's been a great thing about pickleball, is the community has grown. People want to encourage more people to get into it. And so people are, that's how I started. People were willing to play with me who was just, you know, a new player. And so I need to be able to do the same for others who are starting out or others that might not be as strong.
Yeah. And then your goal is, I think should be, player etiquette should be to extend the rallies. Don't just put it away every single chance you get, but you're teaching. You don't have to verbally teach. You can demonstrate, teach the dinking and you know, longer dinking rallies. Those are, again, I've said this, more fun anyway.
Yeah. Again, and I totally agree with you, but again, that's where they're just kind of, sometimes you're in a game with somebody who may be brand new and, you know, they're popping up almost every shot. And you don't want to, you don't want to slam like the very first, you don't want to slam it every time.
Right.
But at the same time, it almost becomes, you don't want to like belittle them by taking one you should absolutely slam and just like dinking it back. So it's finding the balance.
It is, and just overall trying to be gracious, and when you make mistakes.
There it is again.
You know.
Gracious.
I like
Gratians.
That's two
Gratians.
words all put together.
Grace and patience.
Grace and Gratians. Hashtag Gratians, guys.
There it is. What else do you want
So
to
this
talk
was
about?
something too that, and you know, this could just be me. So if the two of you disagree with that, that's totally fine.
We disagree.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I have played against people before who have like one tool in their toolbox. For example,
My spin serve.
I was just gonna say that.
Matt Spencer. No,
That he can't do anymore.
Matt has several tools in his toolbox.
How are you
but
doing with that?
R.I.P.
Good. I'm good. Go ahead.
So I have a couple examples. One of them would be the lob. Listen, it is a tool to use, absolutely. But if it's your one tool, get over it
Work on
and
something
develop
else.
something else. Like, you are lobbing a non-mobile 75-year-old woman. Good job.
Yeah.
Like, work on something else for a minute. Don't just try to walk away again with a W.
Yeah.
Because you
beat
can
it at her face.
maybe do that.
Maybe not that either.
And so then, just one more point. You know, I played not too long ago against somebody who had a wicked slice return. That's great. I'm not judging. That's fantastic.
Me.
Maybe it was Adam, but I think it was a girl, but that's okay. So,
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I
But
have
here,
one.
so she continued to use it on my brand new partner who has only been playing for a few weeks, who couldn't lift it, which is fine. But that game lasted 6 whole minutes.
Yeah.
It's like, was that fun for you? Like,
Now tournament play, I'm all for that.
Absolutely.
Well, right. We're talking
Absolutely.
rec play.
They found a weakness, they exploited
you
it.
step on that.
Go for the jugular, done.
But
Yeah.
it's rec play.
Right.
We have to get off the court when we're done playing.
Yeah.
Can we play a little longer, please?
Yeah.
I'm here to play, not just watch you slice the
see,
crap out of it.
Okay, I struggle with that because I'm working on it to get better.
Very fair. And
Like,
I know that too.
I'm not
Yeah.
a great player, so
Yeah.
I do take pride in my slice as far as how bad of a player I am, of how good my slice is.
Sure.
So I am
And
working on
develop
it.
something else, Adam.
Yeah. And you're there playing for a couple hours, so
Maybe
you've
one game.
established in
That's
that game
true.
that you've gotten it. So, you know, move on then. Yeah.
So I think growth mindset here is work on another skill, get better at something else. Hey, use your tool when you need to, but you know, do something else.
Yep. All right, let's take one more commercial break, and we will come back and wrap this up. We got a few more to talk about as we talk about good etiquette in rec play. We'll be right back.
Are you new to the game of pickleball and looking to learn the basics? Or maybe you're an experienced player who wants to take your game to the next level. Both Matt and I would love to help.
That's right, Abby. We are both Level 2 IPT-PA certified instructors and would love working with you, either giving you private lessons, group lessons, or hosting a clinic. We also offer unique video coaching utilizing the latest in drone technology. You can find us on Facebook, YouTube, or TikTok by searching Hoosier Pickleball, or email us at hoosierpickleball@gmail.com. Also, check out the show notes for all the links to our social channels. All right, welcome back to one more game presented by Hoosier Pickleball. So next on the list, talking about pickleball etiquette in rec play. I see coaching and then poaching. Talk about coaching first, Abby.
Some people don't want it,
What?
babe.
No, everybody wants to
Nope.
be coached. Nope. But I'm a teacher by nature. I want
Good for you.
you can learn something
Nope.
every point,
Every point.
Every point.
Wow, that
every shot
encapsulates what's so annoying.
about me and
Every single time. Yeah, maybe not. Maybe I
Yeah.
wouldn't.
yeah,
I
No.
want coaching.
yeah. I get that
There is a line.
for sure. It's
There is
not-
some etiquette.
Yep. And I could learn a little
Yeah.
something, and I have. I think I've gotten better.
There's some growth mindsets on both ends.
Absolutely.
Okay.
How about poaching?
It's so funny. I actually read that on Facebook. I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah.
I think poach all day long. I mean, unless it's, again,
Yeah.
I do have a video of you poaching the most hilariously obnoxious poach.
Mm.
And even that, I wasn't upset. I just kind of laughed.
Yeah.
So
Are you gonna? Yeah. Can you find that?
I can
You
find it.
Put it in the
Yeah.
show
We put it
notes?
on TikTok.
Yeah.
It was really funny.
Oh, that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Absolutely.
But did I get mad? I didn't get
No,
mad. I
no.
was just like, what are you
and there's definitely if we're preparing
She's
for
used to it.
if we're preparing for a tournament, poaching is a big part of what we do in
It
mixed.
is.
But for rec play, I have to be especially careful with that if I'm playing with
Yeah.
just some random person, because my tendency is to really
Yeah.
clog that middle and come
Yeah.
over on the other side. So yeah.
I think on both ends, again, poaching the poacher and the one who's standing there getting run
Yeah.
into
Yeah.
need to just have grace on the other person. Like,
Yeah.
hey, I'm practicing my poaching.
You
Yeah,
know?
well, I'm practicing not getting run over.
How about arguments? You wrote that down.
I did write that
What do you
down.
want to say about arguments?
I just think like it happens because humans are humans.
Right.
And I think we learn to let it stay on the court. Like it's gonna happen. Make amends, or you can just ignore it and move on.
Yep.
Right. But keep it on the court. We can all try to be the bigger person. Don't carry it around with us. Okay. So when someone doesn't play, rec play the way you think they should,
Mm-hmm.
or whatever, just be full of the hashtag Gracious word we just came up with.
Did we make that up? Yep.
Grace and patience.
Grace and patience.
And and sometimes if you have to possibly avoid that person for a little bit, do it. That's okay. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sure people don't like to play with me.
No.
I'm sure that there are people.
I've got a list actually.
Are you keeping a secret list?
We'll put it in the show notes. No, we absolutely will not.
But we
But
have
yeah,
it, but we're not putting it in the show notes.
Disclaimer, no, we're not.
Yeah.
And that's okay. Like,
And same
you
for
don't
me.
get along well with every single person on the planet.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, that is okay. But again, growth mindset, learn to, right?
Yeah.
I mean, don't
Learn to
don't
smile.
just say, yeah,
Just learn to smile. And
for sure. So,
so just what are some of the last bullet points that our friends kind
yeah,
of
some
brought
other
up?
ones that people brought up. I love this one, apologizing. Like, these are kind of ones that I thought I see both sides on, and I know people have different thoughts on these. So like if you accidentally hit a ball that trickles over the net and you say, oh, sorry, or you hit somebody in the face or the chest, some people get upset. I'm one who always apologizes. Like, it's just like, sorry, or raise a hand. But some people are like, no, don't apologize. Like, if you don't mean it, don't say it. Like, kind of that sort of thing. Like, and I don't know. I just think it's good etiquette, in my opinion, to just kind of apologize. Don't be like, sorry, like a fake apology, but just kind of acknowledge that, you got lucky or.
I definitely think
fortunate on that.
apologizing for hitting somebody is
Is maybe a
very
little different.
appropriate.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when the ball trickles over, I mean, it's more just laughable. Like,
Right.
sorry,
Yeah,
guys,
sorry.
but I'll take it.
Yeah, and I
Like-
told the story in the podcast in my singles matchup at
Oh,
Pictona,
yes.
where it ended that way, and I was genuinely
Genuinely sorry.
yeah, but not sorry to the point where I'm like, let's replay it.
No.
I'll take it, but yeah, it
Yeah.
kind of stinks that it ended that way.
Yep.
Replays for close calls. So again, this was one somebody said, don't replay it. You give the benefit of the doubt. If it's close enough that you think it needs a replay, then it was the other team's point.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, but I'm
Because
kind
I
of
feel like being generous is
Yeah.
having a replay.
it's like, hey, that was really close. I think it was out, but let's replay it. But
I could see both
some
sides.
people are saying, no, let's just
Okay.
yeah. How about talking, chit chat before and after games? Again, I think this is in balance as well. I mean, it's a social,
It is social. But
but-
what would etiquette say?
right? But at the same time, especially if you're paying for court time, some people are like, hey, I'm here to play pickleball. And so I get that. But, how much here's kind of what I would say. My general rule of thumb is have conversations before games. But once the game has started, kind of focus on the game that's
fair
at
to
hand,
say.
and not
Yeah.
have like an ongoing conversation that's slowing down the points.
Right. That
or
would be
whatever.
respectful
Yeah.
of the people you're on the court with.
Yeah.
So that's good
And
etiquette.
you just also have to know who you're playing with, and some
Right.
people who maybe take it more seriously than others. Let's see.
When people,
Oh, I love this. Somebody wrote, when people start laughing in the middle of the point, and they were kind of jokingly saying that's annoying, but then they said, actually, I love that. And I do love that too.
I love that.
There's a
That's
few
why
people.
I play pickleball.
Yeah, absolutely. Have fun. And sometimes we've got some giggly people we play with that just will start
It's the
giggling
best.
in the middle of the point. And it makes me laugh. And it's just like, yeah, I mean, they say laughter's the best medicine. And it feels good when you're exercising out there, just having fun and laughing. So.
Yep.
What else did you want to take?
So I think a big one is rotating out. You've got to understand that you have to take your turn to sit.
Yep.
Don't be ignorant.
Yeah. When it's your turn to sit out, be willing to do that. And in rotating, don't try to dictate so that you're always playing with the best players or your favorite person. You know, kind of just be chill, be cool, and rotate around so that you get to play with everybody. So Abby, take us put a bow on this, as we kind of have talked about a lot. Again, we're not sticking to our 30 minutes, so
We're not.
thanks if you're still listening. To kind of talk us through, this growth, fixed mindset, what we're talking about, and how it relates to.
Yeah. I would say if you have a fixed mindset, you'll walk into pickleball with the skill set that you have at this current moment, whatever that is, and you'll use that particular skill set and nothing else. And you won't get much better either interpersonally or pickleball wise. And maybe that's okay for you. But if you have a growth mindset, you'll work to expand your skill set. You'll try new things, even if you lose a game.
I hate that, though. I hate losing, Abby.
And you'll be gracious to others who don't conform to your particular annoyances. Overall, and this is what I teach my kids, be hard to offend. I think that would I think that would revolutionize not only rec play specifically in pickleball, but maybe who we are as people.
So my hope, I guess, with this episode is that maybe it's given you guys as a listener something to think about, and hopefully we haven't offended anyone too deeply. I think the biggest takeaway, again, is just that whole idea of grace and patience with each other in pickleball and in life. Just try to take this amazing game that we've been blessed with, that you've found and that you play, a little less seriously. And that's a word to myself too, because I'm about as competitive as they get, and I do take things seriously. I need to be reminded of that often, for sure. Even the events, I was kind of thinking through this of the past week or two with DeMar Hamlin. He's the defensive back who got injured and almost lost his life.
Was that 9 minutes of CPR?
Yeah.
He lost his life twice, basically.
Yeah, he
Technically,
did.
you can
Yeah.
say that. I mean,
And I loved
crazy.
about that whole situation how it brought the entire football, really sports community and beyond together to kind of think about what's really important. And so just in terms of this, don't wait for a tragedy to bring your community, be it pickleball, be it anything else, together. Tell people you love them, appreciate every point that you get to play together, and start today or tonight, whenever you're playing next. It can be an opportunity. So I like this episode. We covered a lot. We said earlier, and I want to say it again, if you have questions, comments, or anything you want to share with us, you can reach us at hoosierpickleball@gmail.com. And we would love to start doing some listener feedback, listener questions as well. So keep that in mind. We do like to end with something we love. Abby, what are you loving?
So I have an earring. I joined an earring of the month club I don't even know that you know this.
I do know
a year or
this.
so ago.
Yes, I saw the bill.
You did. Okay. Well, it's not that expensive, but
And it's for a good cause, right?
I was just going to say, I'm going to link this in the show notes because it's called Fair Trade Friday, and it's for women and their children who have been exploited, and they have been rescued out of the exploitation, and they are taught a life skill to then provide for themselves and their children. And they make earrings and bracelets and lots of other things. I signed up for the Earring of the Month Club. It's honestly only $12 a month, and I get a brand new pair. I'm wearing a pair right now that you cannot see because of my headphones. I love them. They're so fun.
Beautiful.
Every pair of earrings I wear is from this. So it's Fair Trade Friday. It's women all over the world. Obviously, I have a special place in my heart for women and their children who are being brought out of exploitation.
For sure. Dang.
Jeez, and Matt loves
I love soap.
soap.
Yeah. I love lamp.
Literally, what I have written
That
down.
is really, it is really. I'm
should've-
sorry.
Why did you go first? You should have been like, why don't you go first? And then you could have ended on that.
Next
'Cause
time.
Here's what I'm loving, folks. You ready for this? No, not a great cause, not beautiful earrings. I am loving the lemon, how do I say this word?
Verbena?
Verbena soap at Trader Joe's. So somebody,
I bet we can link it.
yeah.
It does smell nice.
It
You
is
do smell nice,
amazing.
babe.
But not their drink.
Not their drink.
Ugh.
Yeah, so.
Banana almond butter smoothie is
Yeah.
a no-go.
We made a TikTok of this drink. We have that out.
Of all of us barfing.
Not my favorite, but I do love Trader Joe's and their soap. The lemon verbena soap is splendid. I did look on Amazon to see if maybe I could get it a little bit cheaper because it is, I don't know, $3 a bar or something like that. And it was like somebody's like taking it and trying to sell it like for double the profit or something on Amazon. And then I thought, ooh, maybe I should do that. Are they actually making sales? So anyway,
Our little side business.
but it is wonderful soap. So there's my fun little thing.
I'm the hero, guys.
Yeah, way to go, Abby.
Thank you.
You win the what we love. I didn't know it was a contest, but now I do. I'm going to come up with something great next time.
No one else knew it was a contest because they're not listening anymore.
Right.
Point.
Sorry, guys.
All right, that's fair. All right, we'll leave it there. See you next time.
Bye.
As always, we want to thank our sponsors, Hoosier Pickleball, Indiana Physical Therapy, and Pickleball Rocks. In addition, a big thank you to our production company, Coraggio Media, and the 95.7 WELT studio in beautiful downtown Fort Wayne. Please make sure to subscribe wherever you get your podcasts or find us on YouTube at One More Game Pod. That's the number 1 More Game Pod. Hit that subscribe button and be sure to leave us a 5-star rating to help us spread the word. You can also find us on Facebook and TikTok at Hoosier Pickleball for all kinds of fun, tips, tricks, and other family nonsense, and also some great discussion. Thanks for listening, and we will see you next week.